Hey there, fabric fanatics! You know that ultra luxe silk shirt or that sleek silk scarf you can't get enough of? Well, believe it or not, it all starts with a tiny, humble little critter, the silkworm. In today's video, we're taking you behind the scenes on an adventure that'll blow your mind. We're pulling back the curtain to reveal how these unassuming worms spin their magical cocoons, and how those cocoons get transformed into that gorgeous, glossy silk fabric we all go gaga over. We will break down every fascinating step, from nurturing the cute little silkworm babies to carefully unwinding their cocoon creations into those luscious silk threads. And that's just the start. We'll show you the intricate weaving, dyeing, and finishing processes that take those threads from meh to ooh la la. The journey begins with the female silkworm moth laying hundreds of tiny eggs. Upon hatching, the larvae, known as silkworms, are placed on trays and fed a strict diet of fresh mulberry leaves. When they first hatch, they are tiny and need to be fed fresh, tender mulberry leaves 4 to 6 times a day. This phase lasts for about 4 to 6 weeks, during which the larvae grow rapidly, molting several times. As the larvae grow larger, they need more space to move around and feed comfortably. Overcrowding can lead to stress, increased competition for food, and higher risks of disease. When the silkworms reach full maturity, they are about 3 inches long and ready to begin spinning their cocoons. After the silkworm larvae are fully grown, the mounting stage begins. The larvae stop eating and become restless, looking for a place to attach themselves and start spinning. This time, artisans will prepare mountages or frames, also known as spinning frames, which can be made from various materials such as bamboo, cardboard, or plastic. They are designed to provide a structured environment where larvae can attach themselves and spin their cocoons. Mountages typically have multiple compartments or grids to hold individual larvae. This structure helps in organizing the larvae and ensures that each one has enough space to spin its cocoon without interference from others. During this time, the larva produces a continuous filament of silk, forming a protective cocoon around themselves. Once the larvae have completed their cocoons, they will remain inside in a dormant state, transforming into pupa. After the cocoon formation is complete, the cocoons are ready for the next stage of processing. Next, artisans will collect cocoons from mountages. The cocoons should be harvested promptly to ensure they are in the best condition for silk production. Artisans carefully remove the cocoons from the mountages by gently pulling them off. Then, cocoons will be cooked in hot water to soften silk fibers. To do this, artisans use large, clean pots or specialized cooking vessels designed for boiling cocoons. The water should be hot enough to soften the sericin, the protein that binds the silk fibers, without damaging the delicate silk threads. Cocoons are stirred to cook evenly. The heat and moisture soften the sericin, making it easier to reel the silk fibers without breaking them. However, overcooking can damage the silk fibers, while undercooking can make reeling difficult. After being boiled in hot water, the silkworm cocoons are ready for the equally important reeling stage. The reeling process requires absolute skill and meticulousness from the skilled artisans. First, they use a small brush to gently comb the tangled silk fibers on the surface of the cocoons, finding the loose ends to start the reeling process. Next, these loose ends are clamped into guide holes around a basin filled with warm water. The fine silk threads from multiple cocoons are skillfully combined by the artisan into a longer, stronger thread. This process must be carried out extremely carefully to avoid any breakage or tangling of the silk. This continuous thread is then threaded through a ceramic or metal ring to bind it tighter, and then wound onto a wooden reel in an interwoven diamond pattern. Throughout the process, the artisan must continuously monitor the silk thread, adjusting the tension and adding new ends from other cocoons as needed. Next, the bundled silk filaments are fed into the reeling machine. The machine will twist the filaments together to create a twisted silk thread. This process needs to be closely monitored to ensure even and consistent twisting. The machine settings can be adjusted to achieve the desired level of twist, depending on the intended use of the silk thread. In the next stage of silk production, the main threads are wound onto bobbins or cones. Large winding machines with rotating spindles carefully feed delicate silk threads over smooth rollers to prevent damage. The threads are wound around aluminum bobbins or paper cones, forming perfectly interlaced spiral layers. Any misalignment can cause tangling or breakage. Skilled workers monitor machine speed, adjust thread tension, and join new thread lengths as bobbins or cones fill up, ensuring a smooth winding process. Before becoming colorful fabrics, silk threads must undergo a chromatic transformation, the yarn dyeing process. The journey begins with pure white silk yarn cones arriving at the dye house with their characteristic pristine hue. They are then immersed in vats filled with acid dyes or other suitable silk coloring agents. Veteran dyers meticulously adjust temperatures, immersion times, and dye proportions with utmost precision to achieve the desired shade. Afterwards, the colored yarns are skillfully wrung, rinsed, and perfectly dried. And it's time the silk threads transform into lustrous fabric. Hundreds of lengthwise warp threads must be carefully arranged in parallel tension on the massive loom frame. Workers meticulously adjust each thread, ensuring they are aligned horizontally without any twists or tangles. The constant clicking from the yarn guides blends with the murmurs of the workers, creating the distinctive melody of warping, the laborious preparation for the subsequent weaving. Once the warp threads are ready, the crosswire weft threads are deftly interlaced. Delicate patterns emerge as intricate weaves take shape. Gossamer taffeta, sumptuous satin, or multicolored jacquard brocades. Finally, a masterpiece of silk takes form. Smooth, lustrous, and exuding the unmistakable fragrance of silk. It is ready to be cut and tailored into luxurious products that will delight the world with their beauty. Thank you for joining us on this journey to discover how worm cocoons are transformed into luxurious silk. We hope you found it as fascinating as we do. If you enjoyed this video, please give it a thumbs up, share it with your friends, and subscribe to our channel for more amazing content.